All right, guys. Sorry for the delay there. I was chatting with Ramblin Canuck. We were talking Star Wars stuff. Yeah. Okay. So I am. Yeah. Any Q and A's that you guys got? I'm ready to A your Q's. So, so yeah. So hey, Ramblin, how are we doing this morning, man?
Well, to be honest, a little pissed from the Star Wars world.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it seems Disney, just don't know when to, not stick their foot in their mouth. They turned around and they got a whole bunch of goodwill after bringing back Luke properly. And then they decide that a major executive decides to make fun of Star Wars Theory, which is an awesome Star Wars channel on YouTube. He makes awesome fan films, and he's never spoken out against anything that's happened. He hasn't been negative. He hasn't been on the negative train. And he's my son's hero. My son watches every video that Star Wars Theory releases. Whether it's hi, how are you doing, whatever, my son has to watch them.
What happened?
Well, when Luke came out, Star Wars Theory had a very emotional response, like most of us fans do. When we see something that is just perfect, it reduces us to show emotion. Heaven forbid.
Right.
And he released that on video, live, showing his love for what they're doing with Luke now.
Right.
And he reduced him to tears. So an executive at Star Wars, Lucasfilm, decides to take to Twitter because a whole bunch of trolls were making fun of him. So instead of rallying behind him, a fan, somebody who pays money to see their shit, this fucking moron, pardon my French, I'm sorry, turns around and joins the trolls making fun of him.
Why would
for
you do
crying?
Why would you do that? I mean, obviously you brought Luke back to have an emotional response to the fans. I mean, you put Grogu in there, for emotional responses. The whole Baby Yoda thing for emotional response. I mean, the whole thing was trying to tug at the heartstrings of the people. I mean, that's kind of a good thing. Why would you make fun of somebody for having an emotional response when you were doing that the whole time? That seems kind of foolhardy to me.
Yeah, it just drives me insane because it's like, okay, you got a whole bunch of goodwill, and now you are completely pissing that away.
Oh yeah,
because you're letting your executive, like, they've got to get their bloody act together and get these people under the boot and quick.
Well, if you're not going to be appreciative toward the audience when they have a reaction toward what you're doing, I mean, that is kind of foolhardy, man, and that's really shitty to do toward your audience. So yeah.
And we were just talking about how, Lucasfilm and Star Wars was finally, showing respect to fans and doing what CBS and Star Trek hasn't done. And then they go and do something like this, which is completely retarded.
Yeah.
It's just like all that goodwill gone in an instant because they're idiots.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say the whole. I mean, one bad apple doesn't ruin the whole bunch per se. I mean, when exactly did this happen? Was
Last night.
Oh yep. Wow.
Yeah, this is recent, and this is like, it's like one of those hot off the presses things, and it just, here, let me fix this here. This is one time I'm going to actually go on camera. Yeah, I mean, it just pisses me off because as fans, we've never been so targeted, and we were finally happy. They'd done it. They pulled it off. The fandom was starting to slide towards, hey, you know what? Yeah, you effed up in 3 movies, but you're winning us back.
Yeah. Well,
and then they allowed something like this.
Mandalorian was to me, I'm not much of a Star Wars fan. I lean more towards Star Trek, even even the series is you don't care for, with Discovery or Picard
Yeah.
or even Lower Decks. I don't really care for. Hi Ian, how we doing, brother? I see you on the chat there. Hey Darth Hasser, how we doing, brother? Um, I lean more towards Star Trek, even the less popular ones. But I binge watched The Mandalorian, and it really brought me over to the Star Wars stuff. I really enjoyed it. I felt like before with the Star Wars universe, I liked what was episode 3? What was that one? The one where
Revenge of the Sith.
yeah, like I liked that one because it was very dark. I like this story of a person that falls from grace. I like that type
Anakin
of
turning
story.
to Darth. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that type of story, but this The Mandalorian, the first 2 seasons, like that was pretty happy. I mean, even though it had some realistic tones to it, like it was a fairly optimistic story, and to me, I really enjoyed that, and it brought me over to the Star Wars universe, where I'm like, man, I could really kind of delve into this universe a little bit more, and I had seen Rogue One, and I really enjoyed that, even though that was more of a darker story at the
Yeah.
end.
And the Darth Vader scene in that one was killer.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Darth Vader kicking ass, taking names, and didn't need
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
But I would say, and first off, my heart goes out to the person that they lashed out against. That's a terrible thing to have any fan, let alone a type of content creator, kind of get lashed out. That is bullshit. I would say, I'd say, given time, the person who did the lashing is probably going to get their ass chewed in some regard. I would say
I hope so.
expect an apology. I would say, well, I mean, given the fact that just you're a relatively small YouTuber. Me, I'm nothing on the totem pole. If people like you and I are talking about it, can you imagine the people who actually have a huge audience? How they're going to react? I mean,
Well, yeah, and you know what? You would expect in this day and age, where your public image is everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
What the hell is Disney? Like, who is dropping? Somebody's dropping the ball, because like, even on, like the small, when I used to work security, you were not allowed to post in, uniform unless the company approved it. You were not allowed to do anything like that that could be traced back to the company.
Yeah.
You tweeted or said something bad about the job or anything like that, you got in shit.
Yeah.
Now, I just can't fathom that there's nobody at Disney or these big companies that go, yeah, no, this is, what are you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Creating a public relations nightmare.
Yeah, well, and that's why I say, give it time. I really feel that, give it a couple days, and I feel like somebody's going to be issuing some type of an apology, or at least a reach out. I was going to say hand up, but I was like, oh, that's gone a little far.
yeah, a little far. A little wishful thinking. I mean, we could all hope, but yeah, no. But I mean, it's just stupid, because right around, like, all across the fandoms, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter which one you go into.
Yeah.
There has been, over the last 10 years, 10, 15, 20 years, 30 if you go into wrestling fandom, but let's not go there. Right? There has been a major disconnect between the people paying the bills, as it were,
right, and
the people supplying the content. There's this major, just absolute dumb fuckery where they go, well, they'll just continue paying money no matter how we treat them.
Yeah, no,
and it's like, no, that doesn't work. Well, I mean, WWE is slowly starting to learn that. Disney, we thought, figured this out and went, oh shit, and hit the reset button, but apparently they still can't keep their ducks in a row.
Right. What's up, NB Geeks? How we doing, man? No, that's the thing, especially today, where a lot of people are making their own content and being like, screw the big guys. That's it's certainly not the case anymore. Where people are like, well, we have the sole grasp, and they'll do what we say. That's not the case. A lot of people, they'll stick with, hey, these people are entertaining, I'll stick with them. There are so many alternatives out there, where they may not have the gloss and the glamour, but at least they're real. They're
Yeah.
genuine. And if they feel like they're getting shit on by the big guy, fuck it, they'll just go over there instead. And that's um, if you're just going to treat them like crap, they won't come back. And that's the thing. Like, they'll never tell you. For every one person that screams and loses their fucking mind, there's 10 people out there that are just going to silently walk away, and they'll show
Yeah.
you with a pocketbook.
Absolutely.
And that's that's the thing with me. I was so disheartened with like Star Trek stuff, for the longest time, and I showed with my pocketbook. And me, Royce has a lot of phasers, tricorders, all this stuff, but I was so pissed off for the longest time with CBS and how they ran things. I just simply stopped buying. And I never
Yep.
went online and bitched about the guidelines. I still don't think I've complained once about the guidelines. But I simply just stopped buying stuff. And
Yeah.
now Royce has stuff, but it's because I have stuff for my films. But how much I buy, for CBS stuff. But for the longest time, my pocketbook showed. And granted, I'm one person, but multiply that
Yeah.
by
But if you're doing it, I guarantee you
other
many
people.
others are doing it too.
Yeah.
It's not the exception, it's the rule.
Hey, what's up, Choice Voice? How we doing, Michael King? Oh, brother, I'm glad you stopped by, man. So, but yeah, no, like I said, my heart goes out to the person they did that to. Stick by what you love, and fuck them. To hell with.
Absolutely.
To
And
hell.
welcome, Dave Bob.
Dave Bob, how we doing, man? So, the reason we were doing this show, we only wanted it to be about maybe 20, 25 minutes or so. Scott G, how we doing, brother? Anybody have any questions about the fan film stuff that I do? That was the whole reason for doing this show.
Yes, yes. I kind of railroaded it.
No, Ramblin, you are my plucky sidekick on these adventures. I certainly don't mind you, doing the, sidebar thing here. Just seeing my, pudgy face on screen isn't, I'm sure what these people want all the time. So you are more than happy to be with me here on Mondays. Plus, it gives me someone to bounce ideas off of and chat with. So if anybody has any questions for me, we'll have the show for about another 5 more minutes. If nobody
And
has any questions.
you are burying the lead. So come
What?
January,
Oh,
I left a little bit of a hint on your last video that I was looking forward to many things to come in the new year. This is one of them. We will be doing these a lot more often.
yes, we will be doing. Well, we're actually doing 2 things. One, we're going to be doing sort of. Well, what are they? They're not. Are they reviews? No, not review. What would you call them, Ramblin?
They're going to be more your fan films from your point of view.
Okay.
So a lot more of the behind the scenes and why certain scenes had to be certain ways, how you feel about them looking back, maybe what you would have changed, where, and also just kind of look at them in a way they haven't been looked at before. Because a lot of your films have been looked at by myself and other people, but I don't think you've really sat down and gone, that was shit. And let me tell you why. I don't think that's been aired, and I think that would be cool.
No, one of the things that really gets me is either someone will play my movies and they just completely kiss my ass, and I hate that. because one, I know the flaws that are in my films. Um, and I can't stand that. You know, it's like, hey, let's look at this objectively. Like this is what's good about the film. And then the hey, what's up, Savin? How are we doing, brother? Um, so you know, some people, you know, they'll go so far in the extreme of like, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I can't stand that because that's not realistic. And then
Yeah.
other people will go so far as they'll nitpick so far of like, oh my God, look at how these uniforms are so loosely fit. Oh my God, these people are so, oh my God, they're so
Yeah.
overweight, and it's
You
like,
can't win
yeah,
one way or the other. Yeah.
yeah, it's like they're not a critic of the film, they're a cynic, and it's like I
Yeah.
hate, because it's like you're not giving the film a chance. So like I feel that the thing that would be fun to do would be like, hey, these are the thought processes behind the films. This is what worked, this is what didn't, and this is why we did what we did. Like in one of the films that I noticed, someone did a quote unquote review on. You know, they sat and they watched it, and everybody in the comments were just nitpicking on the film. Well, why did they do this on the bridge? Why did they do this on the bridge? Oh my goodness, they did this, they did this, they did. And I'm like, well, if the asshole had done what he was supposed to do and had me come on and be in the chat with them, I could have explained, well, we had no power to the bridge and we were running on a gas generator, so we technically only had enough power to run to one station. Had I
Yeah.
been given a chance to explain these things, I could have done that. So, you know, that's one of the things I want to do with these kind of reviews is explain what happened on the films and why some things work, what and why they didn't. So, behind the scenes process of what went into the films, I think would be kind of fun.
Yes.
So,
The other thing we're
um,
going to be doing is you interviewing your friends. Well, more having a chat, not an
yeah,
interview, a chat,
I was
just
gonna
a
say, yeah,
chat.
I was gonna say, yeah, interview is kind of a strong word.
Strong word. It'll be
Yeah,
more of them bullshitting the bullshitter, but you know, it'll be a good. It'll be good.
yeah, I was gonna say interview is kind of a
Strong word.
yeah, because interview, like there's always a prepared list of questions,
Yeah.
and I never really do that. I think when people get candid and when they just talk and they let the conversation flow. um you know, I've been in the community for 7 years now, and usually when I'm just talking with my friends, you know, the conversation that goes, you know, just all over the place, and you know, a very candid, you know, if they're like, oh, that cunt, that she did this, and I can't believe they did this on set, and they did, you know, I enjoy those conversations a lot more rather than, you know, something that's a prepared answer, because it's,
Yeah.
you know, although it's nice for you know, those you know, prepared, you know, type
Yeah. You
situation.
know what's coming.
Yeah, to me, I'm more of a, hey, was that guy kind of a jackass? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, you know, tell me, give me the goods. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. And
um,
so that'll be a fun one. I believe that's a Monday or a Saturday night, depending on when you can schedule it. So
yeah,
that
that,
will be here
yeah,
on the Monday morning time slot,
yeah,
or it'll be a Q&A sometimes, or it'll be Vance sits down with Alec Peters. Vance sits down with one of his many other friends within the community, within the fan
yeah,
film community, and they
yeah.
just sit bullshit, which should be interesting because it won't be as formal as an interview. It'll be
No,
just two
I,
fan filmmakers bullshitting.
yeah, I've discussed with, I'm already booked through April, with people who are
Awesome.
who've been involved with the fans who are, um, yeah, like I said, it's or like you said, it's Monday morning about 9 o'clock, or Saturday nights, I think 8 or 10 o'clock, just depending on when the availability of the person is. Because again, like taking a year off of filming, you know, it's you know, I want to focus on being a dad more, but you know, 9 o'clock Monday mornings, Royce is in school,
Yeah.
Mona's in school. I kind of want to have something to do, in my mind, you know, just kind of explodes. I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? You know, so I wanted something where it's like I have an hour and a half where it's like there's no limitations on time. You know, I can kind of be candid, they can be candid, and it's just like, hey, let's have a cup of coffee, let's talk. You know, you can be as frank as you want. or you can be as, timid as you want, because some of the people, are very, soft spoken, and
Yeah.
that's fine. But some of those people, they swear just like I do, and they're like, oh, that son of a bitch,
Yeah.
um so it's like, again, it's one of those things where it's like I just want to have a conversation with my friends where, it's just two people having fun talking about stuff that they like to do. And then, yeah, the other thing is you and me, and I think we agreed on, was it Friday night or
Friday nights.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Friday nights will be the overlooks at the videos. Yeah.
yeah. And then yeah, and it's something where it's, I can't really wait to kind of delve into um both those facets of behind the scenes, because I've been part of this for, like I said, 7 years now, and it's just it's a great part of my life, and it's something I plan to get back to eventually. But I love getting, I think it shows in my films, the relationships that I have with these people, and I look forward to showing everybody else, like, hey, these are my friends. I know these people. They're great people. But I love making everybody a part of this world, and just trying to bring everybody together. And yeah, it's fun. Um, and it's something where I feel when I first started, it wasn't this way as much, and I've tried to show that anybody can be a part of this, you know. So, but let's see, we've got a couple things here. And let's see. The main part is having fun at what you're doing, Matt says, and that's exactly true. If you're not having fun, like, what's the point? You know. Let's see. Choice Voice says, I admire what you do, Vance, and the fact that you have brought so many people into the fandom and made people of all types a family, and you've created a sense of inclusion for everyone. Oh, thanks, Michael. I really appreciate that. And I have to say, like, bottom line, Michael King, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be a part of this, because he's the one that brought me on as Eric Menard, the chief engineer of the Valiant. Like, that guy, like, Michael is the most drama-free person I know, and he's one of my best friends in the fandom. And probably one of my top heroes, because that guy is so drama-free. And if anything that's drama comes around, he's like, nope, I'm distancing myself. And I wish I could be more like that. I really love the guy. So it's I have a lot of respect for that guy. So let's see. Ian says, Vance, considering what limited resources you have at your disposal, I think you do remarkably well. Thanks, Ian. I really appreciate that. Like, that's one of the things. When I first started, there was a guy who had, who we were on the bridge, and I wanted to shoot like a little fan film, just at my station with my cell phone. And he had, he was like, well, you can't do that with a cell phone. Let me show you my camera. And he pulled out his camera, and he was, showing the little buttons and everything. And it had to me, it had like a million buttons on it, and I'm sure it probably had like a holographic emitter and everything, I don't know.
Too high tech for this redneck.
Right. But I respectfully, watched him, play with the camera and everything, and then when he walked off the bridge, I was like, all right, fuck that, and I went ahead and shot my film anyway. But it's one of those things where it's like, everybody's out there, and they're telling you how to do their way of doing it, and if you want to make a film, just make it. It doesn't have to be great. Just go make your version of a film. And I think that's one thing that works about my way of doing it is I'm not trying to make his version of a film. Or, like Michael King, he's got, I've seen him do a film, and that dude knows what he's doing. Or like Josh Irwin, he knows how to make a film. Him and Victoria, like, they know how to make a film, and I could never do that type of filmmaking. But anybody can do my film. Pull out your phone, press the record button, and hold it to watch the thing go. Like, anybody could do what I do. And it's so easy. All you got to do is have a good story, and then figure out, hey, how do I edit this thing? Cut and paste, simple cut and paste stuff. You don't have to worry about heavy visual effects. You don't have to worry about And I've told everybody, I'm like, if I lose my CGI guys, screw it. I've got micro machines. I'll just hold. You'll see my hand, but you'll see me holding it across the screen, and I'll hold the ship. I'm
Yep.
not that. I'm not that prideful that I won't do that. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Because my
Whatever it
fans.
takes.
Yeah,
It's for fun. What do I give a shit?
yeah, and that's one of the things that fan films, like, people seem to forget that, yeah, we're making films, but it's fan films. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be Discovery, or I'm not trying to be, Star Trek
Thank
Picard.
God.
Yeah.
On the Discovery side.
You
Ooh,
want to see those Klingons? I'm gonna, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have you in a film, Ramblin', and I'm gonna have the
hell
other
no.
Klingons. Oh man. But like, that's the thing, like, people take themselves way too seriously on this stuff, and like, that's something that I've never tried to do. Like, I mean, I take the material seriously, but I never take myself too seriously.
Yeah.
But all right, let's see what other comments there are here. Let's see. Choice Voice says, that's the greatest thing about your films, making everyone a part of the world. I have to, like, I'm the one that's blessed. Like, the fact that people are like, sure, Fat Man, I'll be in your film. Like, oh, all right, like, I'm blessed with that, because, like, again, like, I remember when I first started, and like, nobody was ever really wanting to be a part of other people's films. So the fact that now people are sharing and being in other people's films, like, that's a blessing to me. So I feel blessed by that. Mountains of Elysium.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mountains
How
of
are we
Elysium.
doing? How are we doing, Mountains of Elysium? Let's see, dropping by to support fellow nerds and give the stream a like. Well, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Jim's
Oh,
Landscape. How are we doing, buddy?
well,
Let's
Vance,
see.
we've done what we usually do.
What's that?
We're going for 15 minutes or 20, and we're up at 26.
That
Just
we are.
saying.
That we are. That we are. Well, I hear my wife. I think the bathroom people are here to fix the thing, so I think we're gonna have to cut it short today.
Absolutely. And one last thing before you finish off. One last thing on my ranting. Star Wars, Lucasfilm, get your damn act together and quit attacking the fans, or we're just going to close our wallets and you'll be done. Okay, you can carry on.
And yeah, on for this channel, Monday mornings at 9 o'clock Central will be for guests. I forget who I'm having next week, but I will be advertising it more on the channel. And throughout the week, I'll keep posting the CGI that I have. I'll keep posting more behind the scenes stuff, and then I'll keep posting the fan films that I'll be releasing throughout the next year. But yeah, every Monday morning, if you guys chime in, we'll have a new guest every week. Then Ramblin' and I'll, about every Friday night or so, we'll be doing kind of behind the scenes look of the films. So we'll be putting at least 2 new pieces of content out on this channel every week if we're not doing fan film stuff. So keep popping in. If you're not getting the notifications, because some people have said they're not getting notifications, that's okay. Just check back often. I'll always be putting something out. And I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for hey, let's build the channel. I'm just doing this because I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy meeting new people. So if you find something you like, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm not looking to get famous off this shit.
And we definitely have some other ideas that we can't announce right now, but they're in the works and they'll be big. It's
porn parody. So.
Well, why'd you go and blow that right out of the window? We were even going to have Loki in it. What the hell?
Ian asks, Vance, will you be interviewing Alec Peters? Yes, we do have a scheduled date for him. Yes. And Matt says, vman, thanks again for all you do. Oh, well, you're very welcome. So, all right, guys. Well, my wife's finishing breakfast, and then the people for the bathroom finishing the thingy-mabobs, because we're getting the drywall and stuff put up and floor putting down and everything. So I'm gonna go tackle that issue. So, all right, guys, you guys have a good day, and keep on geeking on.
Take her easy, folks.